This person, he found a strange package in front of his house, but when he opened it, he called the police immediately, because what he found in this package was something terrifying, something strange and completely illogical. Hello everyone. For those who see me for the first time, I am Victor and this is my Vortex. Our story today does not contain ghosts or anything supernatural, but its events will make you feel tense and will contain things that will shock you. So be sure to listen to it until the end and let's begin. The narrator of this story is called Todd. He says that he lived a normal life and was generally comfortable in it. The only thing that disturbed his life was his neighbor. This neighbor was one of those annoying characters who want to become YouTubers, and these are not the quiet YouTubers, but the YouTubers who make pranks and challenges and make noise everywhere. Every 2 or 3 days he would try to do one of the stupid challenges or pranks through which he would try to make himself famous. Each challenge is more annoying than the one before it, and some even get to the point of being dangerous. But Todd did not care about anything that might happen to his neighbor, even if he died. In the end, these were his decisions and he was responsible for them. All that bothered him was the constant inconvenience this neighbor caused him. And one day, this neighbor went and knocked on Todd's door. When he opened the door for him, the neighbor told him that he would be traveling for several weeks, and that he wanted him to keep the mail that arrived at his house until he returned. Todd says that when he first heard the news, he felt absolutely relieved, as he was always worried and nervous about the foolishness and dangerous challenges that his neighbor would pose, which would affect him and his life in some way. He quickly felt a strange psychological relief when he knew that he would not need to be on guard and stand on his tiptoes every moment due to the foolish neighbor's stupidity. Of course, Todd agreed, and told his neighbor that he would take any mail that arrived at his house. After the neighbor left, things were normal in the first days. Todd would take a mailbox every day and keep it at home. Most of the things that were delivered to his mailbox were bills or annoying advertising messages. But one evening, Todd arrived home after a long day of work, and a large package arrived at his neighbor's door. The package had "Return to Sender" written on it in red print and bold font. This means that this neighbor's package was the one who sent it, and it was returned to him. Although Todd is an athlete and plays sports, he found it very difficult to carry the package. The cardboard was abnormally heavy, so he had to drag it across the floor to his house. Even pulling wasn't easy, and the concrete floor made things difficult. However, Todd soon realized that it would be impossible for him to take this carton, carry it up the stairs and through the door, so he decided that the best thing to do would be to put it in the box in the garage. The garage was empty, and Todd usually didn't put his car in it because there was a problem with the garage door. Every time he wanted to open or close the garage, he had to pull it and hit it with his hands. He struggled to open and close the door every day. Todd decided to put the package in the garage, so he struggled with the garage door as he tried to open it as usual. According to him, he did not know why he kept holding the package in his hand while trying to open the door. It seemed that he was holding the cardboard in a certain way. He did not want to leave it and then come back and pick it up and hold it again because it was heavy cardboard. Then imagine the scene. He is standing and holding the garage door with one hand and trying to open it, and with the other hand he is holding the cardboard and lifting it off the ground. He kept trying to open the annoying garage door, lifting it and hitting it with his foot, hitting it after the second until finally, by the third or fourth hit, he was able to get it to move and the door began to open with the usual annoying noise. But at that moment, the package fell off him and hit the ground hard, the top of the cardboard hitting the edge of the bricks that lined the garage path. At the moment, the package was shocked, he heard a slight sound of something breaking the package. When Todd heard the sound, he became afraid that something important or valuable might break inside the package. But after thinking, he decided that in any case he would not tell his neighbor about it. If there is something really broken in the package, it will make it think it is broken during the shipping process. Todd then dragged the package into the garage, put it in a corner, and completely forgot about it. A few days passed, and Todd said he wasn't sure exactly when it started, but he started smelling a musty odor throughout the house. He thought to himself that someone might kill an animal nearby, and a smell seeped into the house. But with every passing moment, the smell became stronger and stronger. He decided to try to find the source of the smell until he knew it was coming from under the interior garage door. He immediately covered his nose with his hand and immediately recognized the source of the smell. It was clear that it was coming from a package carton. The first thing he thinks about is that this package must contain meat. The package may have been from one of the monthly subscription services that people have started using a lot. These days, they subscribe to a company that gives them recipes and ingredients for specific meals every month, and they cook the meals themselves, and the meat is definitely rotten because it was left without refrigeration for such a long time. But how much meat is in this package? Why was it so heavy? Todd immediately covered his nose, took scissors with him, and approached the carton to open it. He most likely did not need scissors because the carton was completely wet underneath, so he had to step back and catch himself before he collapsed or fainted. He came out of the garage door trying to get some clean breath. But even the short period he spent in front of the cardboard was enough to make the smell stick to him and his clothes. There is nothing that can remove that smell from his nose. Every second that passed while the cardboard was open in the garage meant that the smell spread and stuck to the house more and more. He had to get rid of it as quickly as possible. There was no other solution, so he returned to the garage and was more prepared. He put a mask over his nose, put on long leather gloves, and brought with him the strongest cleaner he could find at home. But what turned out to be that he didn't need any of these things. It turned out that he didn't need to clean the cardboard itself. But in return, he had to live with the nightmares that he suffered from for the rest of his life. Because what was in the cardboard was not beef or anything else, but rather meat of another kind. What was in the cardboard was a dead neighbor, still a single piece, but he was dead and his body was rotting. Todd immediately called the police, and of course they took him and investigated him. In the end, the body is in his house, and in any case he will be the first accused. But fortunately for him, the police were quickly able to determine that he had nothing to do with his neighbor's death. The evidence was in his neighbor's hands. It was the camera he was filming everything that happened. According to Todd, the police made him watch a video that his neighbor filmed only once, but this time was enough for him to know everything. The video of his neighbor was clearly visible as he was sitting inside the cardboard. He was sitting laughing and bragging in front of the camera that he was going to cross between the states while he was in the package. It was one of the stupid challenges, but this time he took it to a new level. He took with him inside the carton some bottles to urinate in, and after eating he took with him water, a pillow, and lighting, and of course the camera from which we watched the video. Of course, a step like this was not taken by the neighbor himself, but his friend was with him, and he appeared with him in the video. He was always with him and helped him through stupid challenges. He was the last person to close the box on him. During his trip, the neighbor kept recording video clips documenting his trip, so he would say, for example, "I think I am inside a truck, I feel it moving." The last shot that was recorded on the camera was a shot that clearly showed the box collided with something and the neighbor fell on his neck and broke it. The camera continued recording until the battery ran out. But there was one thing Todd didn't tell the police, one thing he heard at the end of the clip, one thing that would always give him nightmares. At the moment his neighbor's neck was broken, he heard a sound clearly, a sound he knew well. It was the creaking sound of the garage door. Follow me for more strange and mysterious story content.